Hello, thanks for tuning in, and today we've got a really interesting topic which I want to talk about, which is the inner child. And if you've done any sort of like counselling or self-development work, you might have heard of this term, the inner child. And so I thought it'd be helpful at the beginning to just describe a little bit of what is the inner child. So, all of us can go back and think, I'm 33, you might be 84 or 17 or wherever you are. We can all kind of go back in our memories and think back to our childhoods. And that might be things like pleasant memories and things that we used to enjoy doing, times that we were humiliated or we fell out with a friend. There are so many memories of our childhood homes, our family, our school life. And all of those things live within us. And like an interesting way to look at it is that your inner child still exists within you. So when you are tapping back into those memories consciously, or a lot of the time unconsciously, it's really that inner child that still lives within you. Because to give you a little bit of background, basically up until we're 3 years old, like our environment, our parents, what happened to us when we were in the womb, how we were born, all of those things have a real effect on us as people, and that goes way beyond those first 3 years and will carry on pretty much through all of our entire lives, and to a lesser extent up until the age of 7. So the 3 first years are really pivotal in terms of setting the environment, and all of the things that were going on will affect you, but then also as well up until the age of 7. A lot of that shaping of how we see the world, how we interact with the world, what we get scared of, what we love doing, where we feel comfortable, where we feel uncomfortable, all of those things are happening from our inner child that still lives within us. And so that's what I really want us to talk about today. Now, the inner child is a humongous topic. I've read this really good book on it, which I'll post a link to. Check out the retro cover. This is from my counsellor, and I think looking at it, it's from like 1980, and this guy looks like Kylo Ren from Star Wars, which is quite funny. So this book is incredible, Homecoming, Reclaiming and Championing Your Inner Child. So this book looks through all of the different key developmental stages and whether our needs got met and how our life was and our different experiences, and there's exercises that you can do throughout the book to help you with that. Now, I don't want to focus so much on the trauma element today or overcoming real difficulties. I want the focus of this video to be on reconnecting with your inner child in terms of play and creativity. So sort of the fun stuff, that is what I want to talk about today. And I've done quite a lot of work on this in the last few years personally. As I say, I've been doing reading around it, working through lots of different things that have affected me. So I can see in the wider world that at the moment particularly, it's really stressful, and being an adult and becoming a grown-up and having to cope with things like, all the political unrest that's going on in the world, and then we've got, job insecurities and Brexit or Trump or whatever's going on, and all of this sort of this debate and sort of polarization that's happening within the media has a really big effect on us. I mean, it's hard enough being an adult anyway, and paying the bills and keeping a roof over your head and wanting to do well in your career and wanting to have kids, or if you've got families and parents that you need to look after and people who are ill, adulting is really hard and it sucks sometimes. So I think that those kind of playful elements of being a child, where we used to be kind of running around and playing imaginary games and cartwheeling and baking cookies and all of these fun things that we might have done, painting and drawing and playing sports and kind of just running around the park and having fun. All of those things that we used to do as children really often do, myself included, they just get pushed to the bottom of the pile, or worse still, they get completely forgotten, or we feel elements of shame about things that we used to enjoy doing as children, and we don't feel able to re-access that as an adult. So for example, for me, I used to really love gymnastics, dancing, anything kind of active where I was in my body and I was being creative, and I you know, I'm doing it now. So those are the things that I used to really love as a child, and you know, through no fault, like conscious fault of my family or my environment, those things weren't championed in me, and they weren't appreciated, and they weren't celebrated, and I wasn't told that it was okay, and it was actually a really good thing, and that was a gift that I could enjoy myself and share with the world. So it is something where I felt an element of it wasn't good enough, and I needed to focus on my schoolwork, and that's how I was going to get praise from my family, and I was going to get acceptance, was to study and be studious and kind of be interested in more serious things, which I did really still enjoy. But a lot of the things that I felt like really, you know, made me feel alive and made me feel really good, perhaps I developed an element of shame around those things, and I locked them away inside. And one of the great examples of this, which I'm sure we've all heard, and you hear all the time from, you know, parents, and I've said it to my nieces and nephews and stuff, is this idea of, you know, we're having fun, we're being really exuberant, and, you know, that's enough now. You know, that's enough now, don't be silly. And that really takes me back to being a child, that, you know, when I was in the flow and I was enjoying doing things and I was being really active and creative, often that would be met with, that's enough now. We need to rein it in, and you need to focus on something else. So when that happens to us as a child, then, you know, we lock those things away, and it's painful for us to go back to them because it brings up all of those feelings and all of those memories. But being able to be playful as an adult and, you know, unlock our creativity is really an incredible way to not only enhance our personal life, but also to enhance everything else. So if you become more creative and more playful, and you're able to express yourself more, whether that's through your career or through your hobbies in your spare time, that's only going to sort of improve your relationships, improve your marriage, improve your relationship with your kids, improve how you feel at work and what you can contribute and how creative you can be. So there are so many benefits to introducing more time to play. You know, things go grey when we forget to play, and I think that's a really important sort of mantra to and quote to keep in mind, is that play is so important, especially in these times that we're in today, where things can feel quite dark, often feel quite scary, and, you know, unleashing that feeling of the inner child and what the inner child used to enjoy can be a way to counteract that and help us to deal with the stress and the pain of being an adult, which, you know, has its benefits, but it also can be really, really tough. So one of the ways that I would like to suggest that, you know, you could potentially do it, and it's worked for me, is to really go back and, you know, you can close your eyes or you can just do this however you want. So basically to go back from wherever you are now, kind of take a rewind through the years, through your life, until you're getting back to those kind of teenage years, and then we're going back to late primary school, and then going even earlier into early primary school. And just as you're going through those stages, really focusing on the playful elements and the creativity, and what did you used to do for fun? What really could you spend hours and hours doing as a young person that you've maybe lost now? And I think you'll find that there'll be tons and tons of things that come up, and it's just literally a brain dump. Like, don't get in your head, like really feel it and think about the sensations and the emotions and all of that comes up in the body. So go back, and you can either do it in just a bulleted list, or you can do like a big, nice, colourful kind of drawing pictures. However you want to do it, just get it down on paper. That's the main thing, is that you don't just think it, you feel it, and then you're getting it down onto paper so you can really look at it. And as well as looking at what things you did used to enjoy, so it could be like, I used to love baking, I used to love painting, I used to love gymnastics, I used to love doing dance routines with my friends, I used to love this Colin McRae rally game that I used to spend hours on when I was about 10 years old, which is one of my weird memories that I remembered. I used to love doing cartwheels, doing like air guitar, and making little animated short videos with a camcorder. You know, just, it can be so many different things. For everyone it's going to be unique. So write down those things, and then once you've done that brain dump and you've got them all down, think about the why. Like, why did you enjoy doing those things? What did it give you? So if you enjoyed painting or art or drawing your favourite Disney characters and like kind of tracing them out and then colouring them in, what did you enjoy about that process? What did it give you? Did it make you feel like you were being creative and you loved the feeling that you could sort of bring something new to life? Or how did it make you feel, and why do you think you enjoyed it? And so once you've done all of that, you can look at it and you can really think, why did I stop doing that? Did I stop doing it because I wasn't really interested in it anymore? That could be one. Like Colin McRae Rally, for example. Like, I'm not going to start playing Colin McRae Rally now, because I kind of look back at that and think, yeah, it was fun, I liked the thrill of it, I just got a new computer, you know, but that's one that I perhaps don't want to reintroduce into my adult life, although maybe it would be fun. But there were things that I remembered when I did this exercise myself, which was things like, God, I used to love doing cartwheels. I used to love practicing my headstands and my handstands against the wall for hours and hours and hours. Going around to my friend's house and making up dance routines and baking. And there were so many things that I used to love doing. And I used to love art as well. I wasn't very good at it. My art teacher would tell me that my ideas were crap and that I wasn't very good. So when I became an adult, I was like, I can't do art. Who am I? You know, I'm not a good artist. I'm not a good drawer. So I stopped doing that. And as I said before, lots of the things that I enjoyed, which were like the gymnastics and the dancing and that kind of body expression, they weren't celebrated, and I was almost made to feel like they were kind of a not a good use of my time. They weren't a productive use of my time, and I never got any praise for those things, which, you know, is really sad to look back on, and there's pain involved in that. And I've had to go on a journey to reintroduce those things into my life and feel like actually they are incredible gifts. Like, you know, it's so overlooked in the education system. Incredible dancers, incredible musicians, animators, people that want to code, and all of these things that aren't English, maths, science, so particularly academic subjects, or you're not good at doing tests. I think that, you know, we can develop a lot of shame around those things. So once you've done this exercise, it's really about you cherry picking, maybe just one, maybe two, maybe three, whatever's manageable for you, and just thinking, you know, be really creative about it and be silly and have fun. Like this morning, there was this little boy that had rang in on this radio station, and he wanted to request this song, Blur Song 2, you know, the woohoo, that one. Well, he requested that and he got his request on, and he was saying like, yeah, I'm going to air guitar this little 6-year-old. So when the song came on, I was just in the house on my own, and I thought, yeah, so I really went for an air guitar and like throwing myself around the kitchen, and it was so much fun. And it was literally like 2 minutes of my time while I was waiting for my tea to brew. So there's so many small ways that you can kind of inject back that playfulness and that fun into your life. And so it's just something that's worth a try. You know, the inner child it's there, and it needs to be kind of respected and appreciated and nurtured, and to recognize the difficulties it's gone through as well. And as I say, that's like, it's a huge topic, and depending on your childhood, there may be a lot of trauma involved in that. So I would say that if anything comes up for you when you're watching this video and you feel like you don't have those happy memories to access, you don't have that playful time, but you know that there are things in your childhood that maybe you've suppressed or you don't want to bring up, then I would always say to look for experts. Like, I will post a link to this John Bradshaw book, which is incredible. It does stress the, you know, if you have particularly traumatic experiences around your childhood, that it's always best to seek the support of a professional. So I will post a link as well below for people that are watching this in the UK. There is something called Counselling Directory, where if you feel like there's more work you want to do around your childhood, there are great therapists and counsellors that you can find on there that are, you know, well trained and understand how to help you sort of heal and reclaim the inner child, and, you know, work through the things that were difficult, and then take forward into your life the things that you want to keep and share. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video and it's helped you in some way to feel like you can be more playful and be silly and have fun and make YouTube videos like I've decided to do. So I'd love to get your feedback. I've just started this channel, so I would really appreciate any feedback, you know, if it's things I can improve on or things that you like. If you could, you know, like, comment, share this video with other people to help me, that would be absolutely amazing. And you can also subscribe to my channel because I'm planning on doing these videos weekly. So thanks guys, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.